Krista here with you again today. How's everybody doing? I know myself, I just had yet again another tooth out. My teeth have really been bothering me, and it's hard sometimes, I think especially for us drug addicts, the hard stuff to get some of these teeth out. I know for me, it's kind of down in the gums, the spread of infection. As one smarter dentist told me once, and I've only got like 7 more to go, and just counting the days until all these teeth are out of my mouth. I think sometimes it's harder, just my own ideas on this, but I think sometimes it's harder to get a dentist to pull your teeth, no matter if you tell them or not that you did hard drugs. I know for me, every time I would talk about it, the dentist would just ignore what I said, and whether they're not educated on this stuff yet or not, you just kind of find some that will let you remove what is bothering you, or you're gonna get frustrated with a lot of the dentists telling you they won't pull it, just because they decide they don't want to. Like, it's just like any kind of toxic person, whether they're going to do what needs to be done or not, basically, if I can put it that way. So I'm not going to travel into that area much, except my mouth is pretty infected yet, and I've been trying to do some natural supplements of a natural antibiotic called citricidal. You would have to Google that and how to take that, just for safety measures. If any of y'all's got tooth problems right now, or whatever it is, after using drugs like crystal and just harder drugs and so forth. It is not easy going through this process either. I mean, I know that sometimes it can just really put you back, and just out of nowhere, one will come unglued with infection again, and just the deal becomes hard to deal with. I'm glad that I'm not glad, that sounds bad, but I'm just thinking that it would be a lot easier if they all just went bad, like a lot of mouths do, with meth mouth, or you're just gonna um deal with sometimes, like some of us have to go through that torture where we have to wait for them to finally get bad enough where you can take them. And I know through the process, I've talked to so many dentists, you wouldn't believe it. I'm an hour away from all the dentists on my Medicaid list right now. And it's just unbelievable that how many times you try to tell these people that you would like that all of them pulled, because one after one gets sore and comes out. Even after I showed them all of these gone, and these right here are left, and they're bothering me. Sometimes to have even one tooth pulled is like pulling teeth. Get it? Um, so enough on that, I guess. I don't really know what more to say. Only good luck. It can be a really painful, quite a tyrannical problem. And some people might think that they deserve that, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that. It is what it is what I say these days. And we just sometimes have to like sit through these times, sometimes sit back and think, I need this time of rest. My body is just basically saying to me, I need this rest, especially if you have other health problems, and that maybe you need to take this time to self-care, that you could not, or did not learn or to practice that beforehand. So we do start learning major self-care and what we need, what we don't need, um, you know, and just like I think that could even go with people with liver issues later in life or any kind of health issue. Um, Stroke issues sometimes that can come with ODing on things, if it crippled you or just whatever, all these ailments and symptoms that we're left with older in life when we get into our 40s, when we've really physically like just spun out our backs or our bodies or whatever. Um, we can really just burn our bodies out with whatever it is to whatever we're putting into it. And our bodies just can become so stressed. That's why I love the value of adding some kind of calming where it calms our bodies and we can start releasing some of that fast-paced stress like PTSD where we're like always riding on that and picking up Mountain Dew or Red Bulls all the time, which I know sometimes is the only way that you make it, like with coffees. But, where we can take that time and finally we have to we have to relearn like slowing down, you know, with our, if like whatever it is, bad anxiety from like a personality disorder. We just learn to slow down by using our mindfulness activities, our hobbies, even like doing the dishes like Buddha, we just start using mindfulness, um taking the very presence and knowing the now and entering the now state, which can become more of an alpha state, especially when you learn to meditate, where your mind just it goes from all these worries and thoughts over here to all of a sudden it's just like slow wave of just relaxing in the body and the mind and just brings it all together until you are thinking more intuitively from your gut, which always brings better synchronicical things your way, and that's a huge plus. Rather than never learning to practice that and just always not ever being able to get out of this anxiety-ish state. So, it's always good learning to count, learning yoga, tai chi, dance, um, whatever gets you up and soothes your soul, man. Just soothes that inner being. And learn to stay in that prayer like center as long as we can. And the more that we practice that, the more it just kind of guides us where we feel like going. And we feel it from our stomachs, whether that's a good feeling or not so good feeling on doing this or that, until we really start flowing to the things we do so dream and desire in our lives. I truly believe that. Um, and sometimes when the earth just shakes and shambles, you're just more like so entered in this matrix mode that nothing can really shake you or bother you anymore, and it all just passes, and you get out of that fear of yourself, and everything less you start beginning to build that inner trust inside of you, and then it just blossoms out into everything else in your life and everyone else. I think that's really important for people that have had major trauma in their lives. Especially that's why I'm learning that why we have these bad, fast-paced, like a mode where it's just like basically survival mode that we're all pretty much stuck in yet. But it can start making and creating a different world where peace reigns, and it's so beautiful. I'm just telling you, it is so beautiful there. And you start meeting other, as Peace and Harmony would call it, harmonizers, and it's just a great place. So, whatever keeps your boat afloat, um, and up and going. Not everybody you run into is going to like you, your ideas, or things that you're doing. Oh, some of them might even stand in your way. When I talk about my toxic people videos and narcissism, um, it can be a sad journey for many of us as we open to knowledge and our hearts for decisions rather than going towards um, false ways of doing and being. And we when we find that these people maybe were false after we get out of relationships with these toxic people, or even ourselves, these toxic relationships with ourselves, and why we're hurting ourselves, physically or however, just making the bad decisions. What really pumps you and get you going when all of a sudden you might leave certain things where you don't feel guided anymore. Look at um, what you're choosing to put into your everyday life. Where are you choosing to go? For how long? And or are you still staying focused on adding on those things every day, like AA recovery, meetings, home study, um, or, joining people that are more in sync with your values and your growing morals and values, and just basically regaining your trust back in your life. Make sure you know what where you're going, you know. Well, I might go over to Mo's house for a while and have a couple beers, or am I going to go over here this morning and not get too drunk to go to my therapist or my whatever the next day? Um, are you joining in your family? Have you lost trust with your family. I mean, do your children still talk to you? I find in my own path right now that I'm still in the middle of doing this. Um, and it can be a really awful one because it can break your heart. But still, like, are you attempting to stay in contact with these people? Have you completely given up? You know, do you still think it's your fault? Um, all these things that you've shielded your heart from, that you've closed off all this time, when you were in too much of a painful area to deal with it. Um, Remember what is most important and of value to you most. Even though it still might run in your head, the addictive mind. And whether you pulled yourself out of that dark hole again or not, just remember what it feels like to get up out of it, you know? To get back on track and in zoom of what you really want and need, and learning boundaries and safety is so important. Whether these people might be your family that enabled you all these years to do whatever you wanted. Um, when we do become more responsible for ourselves, we have to look at these people as, well, they tried, but be in sort of a state of forgiveness. Maybe if they've failed us. Know that we do all come down here and try. We give it our best attempts to do good at everything that we do. But to learn to maybe we're at that stage where in recovery where the toxic people want to hoover you back. And if they do hoover you back, they're going to want to punish you for leaving, as the narcissistic mind works, or family members, unit, or oops, sorry, pup, whatever it is, relationship. Just remember that there are different stages of recovery for codependents and addicts. And when we do fall into a place where they are punishing us again, then of course you have to remember boundaries again and how important these can and will be. And the more that you learn about these boundaries, and start practicing them, even though these people, especially the narcs, aren't going to like it one bit that we're learning real boundaries. They're not going to like it one bit. But once they learn whether or not you're going to hold steady with these boundaries and keep using them, they are going to either back off of you, you might have to bounce forward on your own, and just basically find a way that you not can step up and past and through the fear. It might take some time, but to just basically draw forth where they might have to find somebody else to go beat on or use or whatever it is that they've been wanting from you, because we decide not to tolerate it anymore. So it's really up to us to choose and to draw forward again, when these people learn that they can't use you anymore, or if they finally can get to that place where they can have those boundaries and respect your boundaries, If they don't, you just can go on with your life. And a lot of times, especially narcissists will never change. It's not in their brain power. So basically, you have to go and just be like this, bye, because it's just um the no contact, and it's sad, and it's can be painful, but I think gaining anybody's kind of respect can only be a good thing. So I wish you all luck today, um and peace.